The Cosmic Librarian, Chapter 3. Emma stepped into the dimly lit bookstore once more, the weight of the key still heavy in her pocket. She had expected some grand revelation upon entering, but instead she was met with an overwhelming stillness. The books seemed to be waiting, their spines turned toward her like silent sentinels guarding their secrets. At the center of it all was the book that had called to her, the one she knew would change everything. But before she could reach for it, the door creaked open behind her. "Miss Caldwell," came a familiar voice. She turned to find Mr. Aldwin, the bank manager, standing at the entrance. His presence, normally one of stern professionalism, seemed different here, almost reverent. "I thought you might come back," he said, stepping inside and running a hand over the polished wooden counter. "This bookstore is not just any store, and your inheritance is not just any shopkeeper." Emma narrowed her eyes. "You knew my grandfather, didn't you?" Mr. Aldwin nodded, removing his hat. "Yes, my family has managed the bank for generations, just as your family has overseen the library. The two have always been connected. Once, when I was younger, I was in the bank with my father and saw your grandfather walk out of the vault. But I never saw him enter the bank. My father just looked at me and said I would understand in time." Emma frowned. "What does a bank have to do with a bookstore?" "Not just a bank," Mr. Aldwin corrected. "A vault. One far older than the bank itself. Your grandfather didn't just collect books. He preserved knowledge that many believe should remain hidden. Some books, they do not simply tell stories, they shape reality. And that makes them dangerous." Emma's breath caught in her throat. "Are you saying—" "Yes," Mr. Aldwin interrupted. "There are those who would prefer this knowledge never see the light of day. My predecessors helped your grandfather ensure it remained safe. But now, that duty falls to you and me." Emma turned back toward the shelves. "Then why do I feel like the books are watching me?" Mr. Aldwin chuckled, but there was little humor in it. "Because they are. Some books choose their readers, others require trials to be opened, and a few, well, let's just say not every story, should be read." Emma noticed that Aldwin remained standing in the doorway, hesitant to step further inside. "Why won't you come in?" she asked. "The librarian is the only one who can enter this room. It is protected," he said, pressing a hand against the invisible threshold. "I learned that as a teenager when my father brought me to meet your grandfather. I ran toward the doorway, thinking it led to a bathroom, and slammed face first into an unseen barrier. Got a nasty bump for my trouble." Emma raised an eyebrow. "So you can't enter?" Mr. Aldwin held up his hand, revealing a ring with a clear stone. "The only way I can step inside is if you touch your ring to mine." Emma came to the doorway and held out her hand. The moment her ring made contact, it began to glow with a faint blue light. Mr. Aldwin's ring reacted the same way, pulsing with an identical glow. Slowly, he stepped inside. Finally, Emma exhaled in relief. "Someone who can help me." "My help is limited," said Mr. Aldwin. "I was taught by my father when I took over the bank I am sworn to support and assist the librarian, but I cannot read the books. I cannot even touch them or open the bookcase. I can access the vault, but not your box inside it. That is for your bloodline alone. Your grandfather Elias declared you his successor years ago, so everything passes directly to you." Emma glanced down at her ring. "You mentioned my necklace and ring are for my protection. What do they do?" "I don't know," Mr. Aldwin admitted. "I only know that my ring reacts. It glows blue in the presence of the librarian and red when there is an evil or threatening force nearby. If I am attacked, it will repel with equal force." Emma hesitated before asking, "How did my grandfather know I would show up? And how did he know where to leave me messages?" Mr. Aldwin's gaze darkened. "I don't know. but I believe it has something to do with time itself." She shivered. "And if the wrong person reads these books?" Mr. Aldwin replied, "Some alter the mind, others erase memories. The most dangerous, they can rewrite history itself." Emma's fingers hovered over the book at the center of the room. "And this one?" Mr. Aldwin hesitated. "That book is a test. It was left for you. If you can open it, then perhaps you are ready to understand the truth." Emma reached for the book, her pulse hammering in her ears. As her fingers brushed the cover, the air around her shifted. A deep hum filled the room, and the ink on the pages rippled, as if alive. Mr. Aldwin's voice was barely above a whisper. "Be careful, Miss Caldwell. The knowledge within might change everything you believe about yourself."
We hope you are enjoying our stories. Please like, subscribe, and share. We would appreciate it.
As Emma delved deeper into the library, she began to uncover more about its origins. Her grandfather had not been the first librarian. Far from it. The role stretched back centuries, perhaps even millennia. Each librarian was chosen by the library itself, marked by a connection to the books that no ordinary person could possess. But with that knowledge came danger. There were factions that sought to suppress the library's existence. Organizations that believed some truths were too dangerous to share. The most feared among them were the Veil Keepers, an intergalactic society sworn to secrecy. They believed that unrestricted knowledge led to chaos, and that some things were best forgotten. Then there was the man with glowing blue eyes, a rogue scholar whose true allegiance was unknown. Was he working alone, or was he part of something much larger? As Emma read through her grandfather's journals, she began to suspect the latter. The first book would not open easily. Unlike the others, it required more than just a willing reader. It demanded something from her, proof of her worth. The words on the cover flickered, shifting between languages she did not recognize, as if waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. Emma closed her eyes and focused. This was her heritage. This was her destiny. And then, at last, the book opened. The words on the first page sent a chill through her veins. "To the one who seeks the truth, know that you are not the first, nor will you be the last. But if you fail this test, you will be the last Caldwell to ever hold this key.